This is what you call a flip.
I love it, man.
My verified bucket right there.
There you go.
For sure. That's dope.
The greatest flip of all time.
Come on, man. Easy money right there. Easy $2 billion, 2 years.
To what Mark Walter paid for the Lakers back last year, which was $10 billion. And at some point, these two guys are pretty smart and they go, well, why would we buy an expansion team for 10 and then have to spend another 2.5 to build a stadium in Vegas without at least calling Mark Walter and seeing if we could buy the Lakers for 12.5.
$12.5 billion for a basketball team. Is that a steal or is somebody getting fleeced? Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll have a real answer, not just a number that sounds big. Mark Walter bought the storied Lakers from the Buss family last October for $10 billion, the biggest sale in North American sports history at the time. 14 months later, he's out. Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are stepping in for $12.5 billion, and the deal happened so fast that the reporter who broke it wasn't sure it was even real.
And the person who called me said, are you sitting down? And I'm sitting down now, but I'm still kind of shaking my head at how this came together so quickly.
That's Ramona Shelburne, the reporter who broke the story, saying she needed the whole night just to confirm it. No leaks, no weeks of rumors, just a phone call on a Sunday.
Yeah, so this came together incredibly fast. So Josh Kushner and Bob Iger were involved in the expansion process in Las Vegas. They had a bid group together, and the bidding in Las Vegas was getting extremely high. At some point, they looked around and said, why are we bidding on an expansion team? Before we do this, let's call and see if the Lakers are available. They're both.
So this didn't start as a bidding war for the Lakers. It started with two guys already spending billions to build a Vegas team from scratch, doing the math mid-process, and realizing buying a championship-branded franchise outright made more sense than starting from zero.
In LA with the Lakers. We don't own the arena, okay? We don't own the arena. But if it's going to cost us $10 billion to try to build a brand, $12.5 billion does make a lot of sense if you just have an extra $2.5 billion sitting around.
Sure.
There's the logic in one sentence. A Vegas expansion team from nothing was already going to cost close to $10 billion once you count the arena and the roster. The Lakers cost $2.5 billion more and come with a superstar caliber roster and a fan base already in place. And this isn't two rich guys on a whim. Josh Kushner runs Thrive Capital, and a newer arm of it called Thrive Eternal, built specifically to buy up legacy brands. Its first move was a piece of the San Francisco Giants earlier this year. The Lakers are exactly the kind of target that fund was built for. This is a calculated play by people who buy iconic names for a living, not two fans getting swept up in the moment. Which leaves the real question, why would Mark Walter sell something he paid $10 billion for less than a year and a half ago?
It was approved by the Board of Governors at $10 billion. So from October of last year to right now, he just made $2.5 billion on the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think he was looking to sell, but when somebody makes you an offer you can't refuse. I think it was a business opportunity he couldn't say no to. And
Walter's own statement leaned all the way into sentiment, calling ownership of the star-studded Lakers one of the great honors of his life and saying the team belongs to Los Angeles. That's on the record, and it's real. But the number sitting right next to it tells a colder story, a $2.5 billion profit banked in 14 months on a team he just told everyone he was honored to run for the long haul. One more thing worth saying plainly, because it's already public and deserves the same care the reporter gave it, not a stretched version of it.
look, it's the brand. I mean, and this is, if you're Mark Walter, look, there is this federal investigation that he's been under for the last year or so. I think this predates even his buying of the Lakers. This is not connected to that, but it obviously was in the background of all of this.
Shelburne said it herself. On the record, the investigation predates the Lakers' purchase and isn't tied to this sale. That's the accurate version. So that's the only version we're using here.
There is a sale agreement in place right now, and it's for Mark Walter's shares. So the Buss family still has a minority stake in this team. What does that mean for them? We're still figuring it all out.
Even the reporter breaking the news doesn't know what happens to the family that ran this franchise for over 3 decades. Their stake technically survives, but real control is now 2 sales removed from where it started less than 2 years ago. The people actually working for the once proud Lakers found out the same way you did.
You mentioned earlier, it's 2 sales in less than 2 years. Have you spoke to any of the players or people that are in front office positions in that Lakers organization since this last sale?
I think they found out about when I found out. Like, I don't think nobody had really looped everybody in. This happened so fast. I think everybody's just making sense of it now. Like, it all happened fast. They all are this morning, they know, and everybody's wrapping their head around it. But because of how fast this went down, nobody has any idea what this means yet. Like, I've checked in over at the Lakers. They just hired a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So those people, it's business as usual until this sale closes. There's a board of governors meeting next month. I guess it could close as soon as that.
Walter spent the whole offseason building out a brand new front office, the same aggressive strategy that turned the Dodgers into a juggernaut. Those new hires reportedly learned the team they just joined was already being sold at the same moment the rest of us did.
They was a part of the Vegas expansion, but they said, nah, we're going to go ahead and buy the Lakers anyway.
Yeah.
Mark Walter, who just bought the team last year from the Bucks family, talk about a flip.
That reaction says it all. Nobody's shocked the storied Lakers sold. They're shocked how fast the last purchase turned into a payday. $10 billion in October, $12.5 billion by August. And the hosts weren't even mad about it, they were impressed, calling it the greatest flip of all time like it was a highlight, not a red flag. That's how normal franchise flipping has become. The reaction isn't outrage anymore, it's applause for the hustle. So back to the question from the top, cheap or expensive? Here's the fair answer. $12.5 billion sounds insane until you compare it to what building a brand new Vegas team from scratch was already going to cost roughly the same number, minus the championship pedigree and the built-in fan base. Against that backdrop, Iger and Kushner didn't overpay. They found a shortcut. The people who actually got the short end are the Buss family, whose 30-year legacy is now 2 sales removed from their name and the players and staff finding out about their own franchise's future from a push notification. Now it's your turn. If you had $12.5 billion sitting around and had to buy one NBA team tonight, which one are you taking, the star-studded Lakers, the scrappy Thunder, or something else entirely? Drop your pick below.